Hi, and welcome back to the Save It for Parts channel, and a long overdue update on the 1962 Dorsett Catalina jet boat. Yes, I still have the jet boat. No, I haven't had it out on the water at all in 2022. In fact, we've barely taken the tarp off of it. A lot of stuff happened in 2022. I was very busy all summer. Gas prices were crazy all summer, so I really wasn't that motivated to fire up the V8 engine and burn through a bunch of premium gas. And we've had a lot of trouble finding the parts that we need to rebuild that jet drive. So, for those reasons and various other reasons, we haven't done much with the jet boat. However, I did want to give this quick update to let people know, yes, we still have it. We are planning to do some stuff with it next year. I've got a lot of projects in process with the jet boat, supporting the jet boat, getting things together to get it out on the water. So we'll cover some of that in this video, but we won't be driving around in it at all. So if you want to see us drive the jet boat, you'll have to stay tuned for the next video. Otherwise, here's what we've been working on. Okay, it is now spring of 2022 and it's time to open up the boat. And last time I went near it, I noticed a bunch of rattling and thumping noises and really bad smell from inside, so I'm pretty sure somebody's living in there. We're gonna open it up and see if we can find out who it is. Watch out, here he comes. Here he comes. Okay, we've got a big fat ass raccoon living in the boat. And he is not happy that we've just taken his house away. Now, this raccoon does not look like it's in good shape. Back that way. Come on. Come on. Back the other way, bud. No, no. Come on. Come on. That way, please. No. Alright, so obviously my winter storage tarps were not tight enough. You can see where the raccoon scrabbled up here and got in the boat. And then there's just muddy paw prints all over everywhere, and there's just fur all over in the cabin, and a bunch of stuff's torn up. I don't actually see the poop yet, but where there's a raccoon, there's always poop, so I'm sure we'll find it. You know, little paw prints all along here and all over here. He's just been romping around in this thing for a while. Well, I guess semi on the plus side, the raccoon had the courtesy to do all its pooping in that new bilge hole that I cut out last summer, so I guess that's something, but still not what I wanted to deal with right now. So it's been almost a year since I last had that jet drive apart, and I'm trying to remember how everything goes back together and what parts I actually need to buy to replace all the worn out ones in here. I did find a fellow out in California who was offering some used parts, so I might go ahead and order those and try to replace that shaft and seals and bearings and whatnot, and hopefully that's going to get us back on the water. So I've also picked up part of another Berkeley 12JC jet drive. I think this one might be in a little better condition than mine, and it comes with an extra impeller, but it is missing a few parts, and I'm not quite sure if it's drop-in compatible with mine. We'll have to see. I've also ordered some more gaskets from CP Performance, who owns Berkeley Jet now. So we've got a variety of stuff there. Got some more stuffing. I think they just kind of included this. I already have this, but never hurts to have more, especially with how many leaks this jet drive has right now. And this is definitely another example of videoing what this thing looks like before I start messing with it, so that I can hopefully get it all back the way it was when I get the new one. So working on these old Chevy V8 engines seems to be this weird intersection of technological eras where they still make these parts, I think, but you can't really find them on the internet. You're supposed to go down to some shop in some obscure part of town, find some old guy who used this engine in his Corvette back in the 60s, and he'll know exactly what this is, but the internet doesn't know what this is and can't tell you anything about it. Alright, so there's that stupid thing out of the boat, and it might just be the solenoid here that's bad. This is the part you have to whack with a 2x4 to get it to engage. However, I'd like to get the entire starter either replaced or figure out what the replacement part is in case something else goes bad on it. As I've explained / complained before, This part number seems to be no longer available. When you look it up, it says that's been replaced by this other part number. When you look up that part number, it says it's been replaced by this third part number. And then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the way until you get to a device that looks nothing like this, is not even the same size, has none of the same specifications. So I don't know if this thing is left over from the 60s or if it's some knockoff or just what this junk is. Alright, so this is what the teeth on my flywheel look like, and I know it's not technically a flywheel, it's called something else in the manual, but the dingus that the starter engages with, the teeth are all chewed up on it. I don't know if that's still got some life in it or if I need to replace this thing. Might have to ask an expert about that. So a few people in the comments recommended different shops that could maybe do something with my misbehaving starter. Craig here was the closest, so I took it over to him. Alright, we've got our starter back from Generator Specialty Co. It's all rebuilt, cleaned up, and should be working a lot better. They did point out this is not a marine starter, so it's not really waterproof. It's not really intended to be in a boat. This is just a car starter. So if we want something that lasts a little longer and is less prone to explosions, we might want to go with marine grade in the future. We've got an Axeman quality CB radio to install in the boat, along with this old kind of rusty magnetic antenna. Don't really have any metal on the boat, so we'll have to figure out how to mount that. Alright, switching gears a little bit. Here's a quick unboxing and review of a new gadget that I've got for the jet boat. These are supposed to be noise-canceling earmuffs, and they have a built-in walkie-talkie, so we can talk to each other on the boat without having to scream in each other's face while we're right next to that V8 engine. So we can't really do a full review of these things because it is November. We're not going to have either boat out for a few months at least, but we can do some quick reviews at home here. So we've got two pairs. These are mainly designed for shooting, so I'm hoping they work for continuous background noise like an engine. These are the Walker's Razor brand. So then along with the headsets, there are these little clip-on walkie-talkies, which I believe are essentially a little FRS radio, 23-channel generic consumer model radio. It's got its own battery pack. Supposedly, it's both Vox and push-to-talk. I'm not actually sure where the push-to-talk button is. Maybe it's this down here.
Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, so far these things seem to work pretty well.
So I tested these next to the air compressor because I don't have my boat set up right now. Now, a couple things I noticed. The earmuffs are completely separate from the radio, so if you turn the earmuffs on, you get your outside noises amplified through this microphone, except for especially high or loud noises. Everything kind of gets dampened down to about conversational levels. Now, you can actually use the radio without the earmuffs on at all. You can just turn these off completely. The radio still works. You can still hear it. You can still talk through it. And then the earmuffs are just blocking out all the exterior noise. They're not amplifying anything. They're not giving you any background noise. Now, the mics don't have any noise cancellation, so if you're standing next to the air compressor or an engine, you're talking into it, whoever's on the other end will hear all of that background noise. So that's not fantastic, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. We'll have to see how well these work on the boat. So far, they seem promising. Alright, so that's some of the stuff that we've been working on this year with the jet boat. And again, we're hoping to get it out next year, hopefully earlier in 2023. And then we can identify any other problems that we need to address. And then hopefully we'll get all this mechanical stuff under control. I say that now, but with a boat, mechanical stuff is never under control. But you know what? If we can get things where we want them, then we can start making the boat prettier, maybe actually paint it, fix up the interior cabin, do some other stuff with it. We've done a lot of preparatory work. We've gotten a lot of parts lined up, if not actually here in the shop to work on. And hopefully we'll have more of those things ready to throw into the boat when 2023 spring rolls around. In the meantime, I've got lots of other stupid projects I'm working on, including boats, trains, rockets, computer stuff, satellite stuff, all kinds of junk. So check those out, scroll through my other videos, see what I've been working on this year, see what I'm coming up with for next year. Stay tuned, like and subscribe and all that so you don't miss any of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.